Hello everyone, Josh Silverman from Constant Calibrating here at RTX Austin 2017 with Stu Grubbs, CEO and founder of Lightstream. Stu, how are you doing today?
Fantastic.
Yeah, you doing fantastic?
Would be better. I think they need to let more people in.
They definitely do. It's kind of it's a slow burn trying to get people in, the new security measures and stuff.
Yeah. But there is a massive line outside, ready to come inside. We're excited.
Yeah, no, it definitely seems like so. About roughly 9 months ago, PAX West, we met. Yep. We talked back when you were in Finiscene.
Yes.
And lots changed since then. So for people who may not have seen that interview, just may not know, tell us about Lightstream, just the kind of like overview.
Yeah, Lightstream is a new approach on live streaming software. So a lot of live streaming software there is today is very technical. Mm-hmm. You know, you need to know bit rates and codecs and stream keys and ingest servers. Ours, we built entirely in a browser where most of the back end is in the cloud. So you just log in with your Twitch account or Mixer or YouTube or Facebook, drag and drop what you want to share, and then go live. And then we do all the layering in the cloud, so you could do some really cool things. Like you and I could do a show together, which we've talked about in the past, remotely. Yeah. So even though I'm in Chicago and you're wherever you are traveling in the world to do these interviews, we could produce a podcast together or anything like that. And there's no need to be in the same studio to use the same production software. And that's where we are very unique.
Well, with the Constant Calibrating podcast, which, by the way, Monday night, 6 p.m. Pacific, anyways, twitch.tv/Constant Calibrating. Still got to get it switched over to Concal Pod. It's a lot of fun stuff going on
there.
But, so we do a podcast, we do it via Skype, and as anyone who's used Skype knows, particularly when you're using 4 or 5 people with webcams, it can be a complete cluster because it's just you're sizing, you're doing all these little things.
Yeah.
So how will your ability to have people work together, like how does it actually look when it's
put
together?
So we implemented a new method, which is we call it green room, like if you were going on a TV show where where your guests hang out before they're on the show. But essentially you just send your guest a link, and when they open that, you now have access to their camera and microphone as long as they have that link open.
Okay.
So you can send that link out to as many people as you'd like to join the green room, and then they're all quote unquote on the call. So you can add them to whatever scenes, you can arrange them how you like, you can then have a real-time conversation, and they didn't have to install anything on their side. No Skype, no nothing. You can send a guest a link and say, no setup, just open this when it's time to start.
And then you also have, I imagine the quality works out pretty well too.
Yeah, I mean, it's far more network efficient to do it the way that we're doing it, and instead of having to run Skype and your OBS or XSplit and the various plugins that you want for streaming and everything else, there's just a lot less fail points in that regard. So we want to add things like cropping so that you can size everybody up into nice little cubes. Yeah. But for now, it's just green room as it stands.
So so right now, when it is, you just kind of get the full webcam.
You get the full webcam and you arrange them as best you can. Now you can use overlays to kind of trim it a little bit. You can totally do that. Cropping is coming next month. We're reworking it right now. As you can imagine, restructuring videos. Chroma key's another one we're reworking right now, so you can get the nice green screen effect.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So as far as like plugins and additional things, with OBS and other platforms, you can use things like Streamlabs, Muxy, those kind of things. Is there any is there integration with Lightstream for those kind of things?
We do. We have them as browser sources, just like you're used to putting in OBS or XSplit right now. In the future, though, we view it as trying to provide a unified platform. So the idea, for instance, with Muxy would be not only can you add the different layers of Muxy that you set up on their platform, but then you can edit those right inside of our studio without having to flip back and forth or have other applications running, and that's really the difference. When you use something else and you import a browser source and you want to make a change to a Muxy asset, you need to go to Muxy's website, right?
Yeah, I mean, when I think most of us streamers these days, you have your game open. Let's say you're a game streamer, you have your game open, and you have then OBS or whatever open, then you have like 5 other browsers open, Windows, because you're like, oh shit, I need to tweak this, and it's it takes a lot of time.
And wouldn't it be nice to have just one window open where all of your controls are, where you're like a control panel for all your stuff. So that's what we're working towards. So we have a lot more work to do as building something as complicated as live streaming software. The other guys on the other teams know at OBS, XSplit, and the rest. It's not easy, but we all have big goals for each of our products.
Yeah, it's a growing industry that you got to keep growing and expanding.
Yeah.
I just love what you guys do. The browser
change.
side. And needs change.
And the needs change rapidly. I mean, this is a new form of content creation, so we're constantly listening to streamers go, hey, I have this really weird stream that I do that involves X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. Can you build it? And I'm like, we can. We have so much else to do as well. So we're trying to figure it out as best we can.
So then, what have been some of like the requested features that people have come to you with that you're just like, that is a genius idea. I have no idea when we're going to be able to implement that.
God, there's been some good. I mean, one of them is somebody wanted to be able to switch scenes based on something that happens in game.
Okay.
And one of the things that we've been working with a lot of game developers around, with a system like ours, it's completely programmatic. It's an API-driven production environment. So having things trigger based on an action in game, like let's say you get a sweet kill, and then it switches to this really close-up cam you have, so you can go, oh. We don't have those yet. I mean, we could easily do it, but there's just so much else about the basics that we want to get right or rework before we start working on like really cool features like that. So there's elements like that. We have the ability to ingest mobile feeds. So you guys here are on the show floor. Maybe you had a friend or somebody on the team who's back at home, who could be controlling your live stream and have you on your phone, and then you could go live to your remote feed, just like a news show would.
Oh, that'd be pretty awesome.
And that's another thing. It's like, something we could easily do, hits the ingest like anything else, becomes a source inside of the studio. You got somebody at home running the studio setup, and again, easy enough, but the list is long and varied. You have a list.
You got to keep going. So what's been the reaction? I mean, we're only on day one here, getting towards the end of the day, but what's been the reaction from some people? Because I imagine people must come over and be like, oh, Lightstream, what's that? And then you start listing off some of your features, and they're like, I can imagine there's got to be people whose response is like, I didn't even know I wanted like something X thing.
It's really, for us, it's a lot like that, honestly. People are so used to having to work to figure out live streaming that or the inverse, they have a really simple app that they use, and they're like, all I want to do is add my logo, but the jump from my simple Facebook app to adding a logo is like all the way over to OBS or XSplit, which is just a little bit more difficult. Very powerful piece of software, just a little bit more difficult. So a lot of people are just like, this is just so much more approachable for me. I want to spend more time streaming than fixing, than setting up, than watching 6 weeks of YouTube videos, like that kind of thing. So a lot of people are just finding the ease of use to be the most compelling. But then when I can show them that, they could put their gameplay next to their buddy's gameplay side by side, I think that's when everybody goes, oh, holy shit, I can't do that with anything else right now.
No, I mean, that's a phenomenal feature. I think one of the best features, because a lot of what we do, myself and Ryan, who's behind the camera here, we like play PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, and it's like, we're doing stuff
running
like that.
Running duos with a side by side?
Right, that was so freaking awesome, because right now he streams on his personal channel, which doesn't, is essentially, he's just starting it out. So there's not a lot of viewers. Well, we have far more viewers on the main one, and the viewers on the main one are just like, so how can we watch, and like, you go with like multi-Twitch and things like that, which, they work, but they're inelegant kind of thing. So the idea of actually having everything right there on our, Twitch page, I think that's a great.
And the green room feature for a lot of the creators we've met here at this show in particular are doing talk shows, similar to the content that you create. So the green room feature of multi-person is just like, we have guests on all the time, and I don't want to have to teach them to install my favorite voice client, or my favorite video client. So that's been a big one as well.
I think just making it easier for those of us who do live interviews. I mean, just so I'm not telling people continuously, hey, I need you to install this thing that you just said. It's like, it's the most frustrating thing. You actually will lose guests sometimes. Good, like I don't want to deal with this. Like it's ridiculous. So, any other final things about Lightstream that
I think the coolest thing that we just soft launched it. If you're a Mixer streamer, you got an email from us today that allows you to opt in to our latest technology. And our latest technology is that you're able to stream less than 1 second from your computer through our layering system and off to your platform of choice happens in less than 500 milliseconds. And so what does this mean?
Okay, let's
this means that everyone was concerned about, OBS and XSplit obviously are on your computer, so they add 0 delay. Everyone has always been concerned that we add a little bit of delay as an extra step on its way to Twitch or Mixer or whatever. So that's gone. Those days are gone. Another thing is we can do live previews. So while you're streaming you can see yourself and interact, and like that way when you're holding up something to the camera that it's actually in shot.
Wow.
It sounds silly, but in a product like ours, that's really,
well,
it's really
as someone who used, for a while there back at the beginning, that was a feature that I looked at and I'm like, this is kind of frustrating that I can't really get a good grasp on exactly what I'm doing.
Right.
So the idea that you could do that now is phenomenal. Like how's that actually working then?
Well, I mean, there's some really neat tricks in there, but the real benefit, like I said, and the reason why we released it to Mixer streamers for testing right now, is that obviously they can take the full effect of that benefit. With Mixer's FTL technology, your viewers will now see you all the way from the little client of ours that you install, through our layering system, through Mixer, and to the viewer in less than a second, which means that you have a real-time interaction with your audience, which really changes the conversation. When your viewers see you do something and they can, or see you react to them, instantly in chat, it means a huge difference. It's actually turns into an actual conversation.
Yeah, so you're not stuck where somebody mentions something like, "Oh, dude, that was a cool kill," or just something like that, and then you're seeing that and you're responding, and then they're not seeing your reaction to that and complimenting you for depending on your stream, 30 seconds, a minute, 5 minutes.
I mean, even my favorite friends who are big streamers have a 20-second delay on Twitch.
Yeah.
And you can feel that. It's a breakdown. Imagine if every time we Skyped, you had to wait 20 seconds to respond. It's like using walkie-talkies at that point.
No, it's frustrating.
Yeah.
It's absolutely frustrating thing.
So, Mixer's really changing the game with their tech. We wanted to be able to support it fully. We made some massive improvements to our system and are now able to do that. And I think it's really exciting to have that, when you see you move your hand and it happens instantaneously, it finally feels, it's a big step for us. I think it's a very... changes how you experience our product.
It just adds that next layer of things, that next of realism to the experience. So, all right, well, so where can people find Lightstream if they're not aware?
Yeah, so it's much easier than last time we did this interview. It's just golightstream.com.
Yep.
Twitter.com/golightstream /golightstream actually for all of our social media. Yep. So please check us out. And if you have any questions or you have feedback or you're like, hey, I use OBS right now and I can't switch until you have this feature, please email me at stu@golightstream.com and let's have a conversation. I'm a product guy. Yeah. Let's build the best thing we can for you.
I think that's a really outstanding thing. That's one of the things I love about chatting with you is the fact that you are right there with the people. Try. It's like, hey, you got a question? Let's figure this out.
Right.
So that's really outstanding. Okay. So check out Go Lightstream. We're going to be using it a lot more moving forward with constant calibrating, so you get to see it in action. And then
we're free.
Yeah,
we're free.
And they're free.
You don't even have to worry about spending any money right now.
That's just a great
right
there.
We're gonna be free for the foreseeable future. So please enjoy it.
That's a really awesome. That's another awesome thing. So as far as constant calibrating goes, twitch.tv/constant calibrating. Constant calibrating is youtube.com/concalpod. And we bid you guys a good sign off. So thank you, Stu.
Thank you.